My dear friends, my name is Mark and you're watching Welcome to Mark's Bible Study. So happy to be with you. Videos we are adding on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Excuse me, my dear friends. And we are continuing the last topic in Matthew chapter 9, and we're gonna talk about today the need for the workers. The need for the workers. So today we are going. So today we are going to talk about. So today we are going to talk about. How can you cooperate with people? Excuse me. On a job, because this is about having a job. And I will talk to you about how to deal with bosses and all that stuff. Okay, so you can really understand the way that. So you really can understand the way how you can defend yourself in front of like a bully at school. I like to talk about this because since I don't have no subscribers, no views on my videos, which that really irritates me. Which I'm spending so much time talking to you, doing those Bible studies, and you don't appreciate it. Seriously. That is irritating, my dear friends. Seriously. That is not a good thing to treat other people like this. That they doing something to you, that they trying to help you, and you just take that off. You just take that off and do nothing to it. Seriously, that is. I can go along with that topic if you want to, but you probably would unsubscribe me. What I'm gonna say, and those are very strong words. Seriously. So we are going to talk about the need for workers, my dear friends. And the need for workers. So we're gonna talk about students. We're gonna talk about the first job and the first job in the Bible, and we're gonna talk about lots of those life situations that you can cooperate with, or you can. And with what people you need to cooperate with to do a good job, right? Because it's more important to do a good job instead of listening to a boss or to a teacher talking to you, taking you down with calling you names and screaming at you to do that thing, right? Because you're not gonna tolerate the bad words. You're not gonna tolerate when somebody is taking you down with words. You're gonna tolerate the good attitude from the boss or from the teacher, right? So this is what actually is. This is what actually is in the Bible. Jesus traveled through all the towns and villages of the area, teaching in the synagogues and announcing the good news about the kingdom. And he healed every kind of disease and illness. When he saw the crowds, he had compassion on them because they were confused and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. He said to his disciples, "The harvest is great, but the workers are few. So pray to the Lord who is in charge of the harvest." Excuse me. Ask him to send more workers into his fields. So those people were complaining the crowd was complaining to other people that they don't have any workers, right? That they don't have jobs. They all homeless, and they don't know what to do. So they were just complaining to. So they were just complaining, right? If you complain on a job, if it's something is too difficult for you, or you tell the teacher, no, I'm not going to do it because I don't like it, because you know, a teacher would not understand that something is not something it is that you're not gonna like it. In my high school, they treated me like some kind of a some kind of a freaking criminal, right? But you know what? You know what? If the boss is telling you what to do in his way, then you need to do it. But if the boss has a bad attitude to you, yeah. So don't tell your boss that you have a bad attitude, because the boss will fire you anyway. You are not the one who is correcting your boss, right? You're not the one who is correcting your parents. You're not the one who is correcting your boss, and you're not the one who is correcting your teacher. That is, correction people in love, right? Correct people in love. Let all that you do has done in love. And the Bible doesn't say, let us do everything in anger, because this, what other people are doing in our fallen world, and we are complaining about it, that you're doing everything in anger, and then the other mistakes are happening, right? Just like in the story of Oliver Twist, or something like that. They were treating those innocent kids like total criminals. Like total criminals, and kids are not criminals. That is not such a thing that you can call your child a criminal. That is not a thing. That doesn't exist. That doesn't exist at all. No. That doesn't exist at all. If you think that I'm telling lies in the Bible study, you are totally wrong, because kids are always innocent. Kids are just learning about the world, and they're trying to make friends with you. They're trying to cooperate with you. Children don't belong in prison. No, they don't. So the thing is that lots of those movies, because I stopped watching movies. I stopped watching TV shows and movies, because I don't like how characters are treating each other. I didn't like it, so I came into YouTube, and sometimes those YouTubers have that kind of a content that they don't treat each other so nicely, but that is the part of the content. I understand that. Don't make that think that this kind of a content, that those children are acting for money, because that is not the case of this. The case of this is acting for yourself. Is acting. In YouTube, you can do whatever you want. In YouTube, you can do whatever you want. But in a movie, you have to follow the script. You have to follow all those lines that you probably might not really that you probably might not really know what to say, because you don't have a script in front of your nose, and Other actors don't have script in front of their noses. They have to say from their memory. But on YouTube, you can do whatever you want. On YouTube, you have your line, you have your own lines, you have your own private acting in your home and your home and your studio, and you are working. You're working. You're working like this. This is your job. This is your job, right? You're not working for somebody. You're working for yourself. And this is actually what I'm going to be doing. Actually, I'm going to be a pastor too, but the main job that I'm going to be doing is being a pastor and being a YouTuber. But actually, I'm going to be doing the same things. I'm not going to be doing the same things as other YouTubers do, because you cannot impersonate other YouTubers. Especially I'm gonna do what other YouTubers are doing, because I'm getting an idea what other YouTubers are doing. But the thing is that I'm gonna kind of get an idea, gonna use the idea what other YouTubers are doing, just like I'm doing my Bible study right now, just like I'm doing my reactions. I'm using other people's idea, what other people are what lots of people are doing, right? You can do the same thing. You can do the same thing. You can do it now. Excuse me. You can do the same thing, but with the other way, right? Excuse me. This is actually how YouTubers work, to get more subscribers, to get more people to get more subscribers, to decide what kind of content you wanna do, and you are the one who is the boss of this YouTube channel, and your co-workers as your family, as you are your kids and all that stuff. You're doing skits, you're doing comedy skits, you're doing movie parties and all that stuff. You're doing all those. You are doing all those things. Like vlogging and just vlogging your life and all that stuff. This is what actually the workers in the Bible, how they were complaining. They not the whole Jerusalem was working for Jesus, because lots of people in the crowds that we read in the Bible, they were laughing at Jesus. Oh, he's the prince of demons and he cast out the demon. How he can do that? Blah blah blah, right? They didn't know that he was the Son of God. They didn't know that was the Son of God. YouTube was not existing by the way when Jesus was around. They didn't know anything about that. YouTube came along in 2005 when I actually when I was like 5 years old or something. I was still living in Poland in this apartment. Seriously, it was a horror movie back in the day. But seriously, the thing is about the whole job thing. You need to look at the things that you are good at. You are good at catching bad guys. You can be a policeman. You are good at saving other people. You can be a lifeguard or a doctor. You are good at finances. You can go be a banker. If you are good in talking about the Bible, you should be a pastor. This is how your life is going. What are you good at? What are you trying to accomplish? This is gonna be your job. I'm gonna have two jobs. I'm gonna be a pastor and I'm gonna be a YouTuber. And I'm gonna be a YouTuber. And I'm gonna be the leader of that YouTube. I'm gonna be the man of the house, and I'm gonna say to my family, since I'm the man of the house, we're gonna do a YouTube. We're gonna do a family. We're gonna do a family YouTube channel with lots of skits and cops and robbers and all that stuff. We're gonna be doing that. We're gonna be actually doing that. Lots of people, lots of kids do cops and robbers, do lots of stuff because they want to know what it exactly is when they grow up. What this is exactly is what cops and robbers is a game, right? Cops and robbers is a game. You cannot get arrested just because you're playing a game, right? So the thing is that there's a team of the policemen and there's a team of robbers, and the whole game is all about catching the robbers and putting them in a jail cell, right? And jail cell can be your bedroom, can be a basement, can be something like this, but you're not actually a cop. It's just you're acting like a cop, right? Just like you're acting. That doesn't mean you're impersonating a police officer, because you cannot do that in public, because they gonna think that you are convincing somebody that you are a cop and you are actually not a cop. You cannot impersonate a doctor. You cannot impersonate a policeman. You cannot impersonate a soldier. You cannot impersonate anything what is. You cannot impersonate a firefighter. You cannot impersonate any of this. Those are very special professions that you need to have a suit on, and you need to know what are you doing, right? You cannot impersonate any of those professions. But if you're doing that privately, that's okay. If you're doing that with your friends or with your brothers or sisters, or you're doing this with your friends, that's totally okay. No, you're not gonna get in trouble with that. Yeah. So that's the case of this. You're working as a YouTuber, as an entertainer, and you're actually acting a person that you're not, but you kind of are. You cannot impersonate God, because it's impossible to be perfect all the time. You cannot do miracles. You cannot cast out the demon. You cannot do any of this because you cannot impersonate God. But you can be like God. You can be like God, because God is the one who is sitting on the throne of heaven, and He is good all the time. He is perfect all the time. But you're not the one who is impersonating God, because it's impossible. It's impossible to do everything good what God was doing. You cannot impersonate God, no. Actually, there's gonna be a. I'm writing now a script about a mysterious dimension that first is his 10th birthday, and the parents have to go for some kind of a business meeting, and they staying at home with the brothers and friends, and then the one kid is going to this. Mysterious dimension. That's all is gonna be me doing the whole special effects and all that stuff. So this is what other YouTubers are doing, and I'm like, okay, I want to do this because now I'm watching lots of YouTube channels right now. So this is the need of the workers that actually you can impersonate a teacher. I don't know. I don't know if you can impersonate a teacher. I don't know. But if you're not qualified to impersonate a teacher because you acting like you know everything, and then you say, and what? And the class is asking, what are we supposed to do today? And then you say, what? Yeah, so impersonating a teacher, I don't think that's a good idea either. Playing school is a good idea. But, yeah. That is actually really hard to impersonate a teacher that you're acting that you know everything, and then and then you know, and then you have some you have some trouble with your memory, right? This is actually the need of the workers. The Bible study is kind of weird because I'm talking about the first job. The first job. I'm talking about the first job here, right? About the first job. I'm trying to make a point that being in a first job is not really easy. It's not really easy. The first step is always the hardest one. The hardest one is always the first step. The hardest one is always the first step. You say, oh, that's not a job for me, so you're moving on. That is not a job for me. So you trying to look for another job. This job is not working for you. You're looking for another job. This is actually that you need to that God is this is actually that God gives you that chance to have one life, that you need to accomplish something, right? That you need to accomplish something. You need to prove yourself that you have a job, that you can be a good father, that you can be a good house, that you can be a good head of the house, that you can pay your bills and do that you can pay your bills and do all those kinds of things. This is actually what it means to be a grown-up. You're not a kid. You're not a kid. You are a few years, and then you are a teenager, and then you are looking at yourself. Man, I'm 18 years old, and now it has to go to the. Now you have to go to the adult life. I'm already 25, right? I'm almost 26. Where the heck that went, right? Man, that time is going so fast, right? I'm already 25. I'm almost 26. It's not even the middle of March. It's not even the first day of spring. Right? But the day is going after day after day after day. And guess what? Jesus might return like, I don't know. Nobody knows when Jesus will return. God is the one who's going to tell you when is the exact time, an exact hour, exact minute, an exact second when Jesus will return. Nobody knows that except God. Nobody knows that except God. Because God knows everything. God is the one who is the creation of the world. Of the heaven and earth. Of light and darkness. Of the plants and and animals and humans. So this is actually what in the world is going on? This is what the heck is going on right now. That people are scared of the truth. People are really scared of the truth. People are scared of the book of Revelation. That's why pastors do not preach the book of Revelation, because people are afraid of this book. But that is the whole true story that will happen for real. That we will picture for real. Revelation is the one. Revelation is the one that we should. Revelation, the end times, are described on the way that is going to be in this world. And Jesus said there's going to be destruction, there's going to be fire, there's going to be persecution, there's going to be trumpets and seals and horsemen and all that stuff. This is actually what is going to happen. This is actually what's going to happen when I'm going to preach again the book of Revelation. I'm gonna give you an attention what is really going to happen, because I'm the one who is preaching the book of Revelation of all other YouTubers. This is the whole thing about life. This is the whole thing about life. You're getting born from your mother's womb, and you as a baby don't know anything, and you're just sleeping, you're just crying, and but first you are newborn, then you are like a baby, then you are a toddler, then you are a kid that is trying to learn the world, and then you are preaching. You're going through some 6, 7 years old, and then when you are going to 2 numbers, you are already, wow. I already ended my childhood, so there was a next. I'm in the next thing. I'm in the next my life as a child. You know, if you are 13 years old already, then you cannot call yourself as a child. You have to call yourself as a as a teenager already. You're not a preteen. Preteen is from 10 to 13 years old. And then you are a teenager. Then you are growing and growing and growing and growing, and then you are 18, and then you are 21, and then you realize, oh my gosh, this time went so fast. When did I got so much an adult? How did I got so tall? How did I got out of that being a newborn, being a baby, being a toddler, being a kid, and being a teenager, being a preteen? And when I got done with 13 years old, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to go down. Right? This is the whole thing. This is how the life works. Aging and getting older, that is a part of the fallen world. That is a part of the fallen world. Right? Amen? Amen. So thank you so much for joining me in this wonderful Bible study. Please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, check out my other channels as well. Don't forget, we are adding videos on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!